All right, chapter 24, Into a New Century, What Political, Social, Technological, Economic Trends Have Shaped American Life Since 1990. So this very first section, Computer and Technology Revolution, and how did they transform the American economy. So we'll look at the development of computer and its impact, analyze the impact of new technology on communications, how globalization and the rise of the service sector affected the American economy. So this is the very first computer. It took up pretty much the entire floor of an entire building. It was just massive. You compare that to the development to the fact that you have a computer sitting on your desk. That totally changes. Little by little, bit by bit, you see the computer going from that big, huge monstrosity that we saw the picture before to what you have. And even the thing that you can hold in your hand that's supposed to be used for phone calls that can act like a mini computer. I mean, it has just totally changed the game in terms of information and all that other stuff. Now, when you look at transforming business and industry, just think of what Amazon does. You can now order anything, nearly anything, and it can be delivered to your house, and you don't even have to leave. In some big cities, Amazon delivers groceries to people. And so that totally makes it different. The skills that you need, the way you do business and handle business, you can have teleconferences with someone all the way across the world and have a meeting and have them Skype in or whatever they do, but teleconference, it really has changed. Now, when we look at revolutions in science and agriculture, there's all kinds of new opportunities in terms of biotechnology, genetic testing. It's going to just continue to revolutionize and change things. When we look at agriculture, what essentially it's done is it's turned farming into corporate farmers. You just don't need as many people farming to be able to produce more food. And that trend is just going to continue. It's really picked up steam since the 1950s, and it's just going to continue to go in that direction. Communication revolution. This is the information age. You guys can access any information and all information from anywhere in the world with just the click. It's supposed to have democratized information, and in some ways it has. It's made it so that all people have access to the same information. But the problem is that it has also created a bigger divide between those, the haves and the have-nots. And in this case, the haves are the ones who have the ability to actually access that information, understand that information, decipher what is real information and what is fake information, and then put that information to use. The people who can't do that are the have-nots. When we look at satellite technology, again, satellite TV, CNN, 24 hours of news, that was a big transformation in the 1980s, 2000s. And now you guys can watch programs, again, on your iPhone or computer. Satellite technology, the fact that I have a watch, a GPS watch that can tell me how fast and how far I've run, all that stuff is changed. When we look at the birth of the internet, it got born in the 1970s. It was limited to governments and universities. In the 1980s, the World Wide Web is created. And by the 1990s, it's gone public. When I first started teaching, I didn't have a computer on my desk. That took 2 or 3 years. When I first got the computer, I wasn't hooked up to the internet. I wasn't hooked up to email. I could just use it for example, grading and printing off grade sheets and those types of things. And then now I pretty much do everything by computer. Changing American economy. Multinational corporations, we've already talked about those. The other thing is globalization has been an equalizer around the world. And I know there's critics of globalization who knock globalization, but the fact of the matter is globalization results in more stuff getting or becoming available to more people at a much lower price than ever before. Globalization has enabled us to enjoy all the luxuries and all the cheap things we have in this country. And so it's not just lifted up the United States. We see it now lifting up other countries like China and India, and it's only going to continue to help other people have more access to things at a more affordable price and grow the world economy. The changing American economy, computers transforming the workplace. I've already talked about it in terms of education, but it changes what skills you need to have to be successful. It's also created a whole host of new jobs, and a lot of those are up on that graphic that you see there. The ability to teleconference all around the world, the ability for people to work from home. Now, a potential downside is automation, the ability of computers and robots to do the things that once people did. And so the big debate now is are we moving towards a world without work, where people aren't going to have to work? The only people that are really going to have a job are those who can run the computers and run the robots and fix the computers and fix the code. We're a ways away from that, but there are some jobs that are moving to being totally automated that are going to be eliminated. Once we get to self-driving cars, you're not going to need truck drivers anymore. The other thing is the service sector is going to continue to expand. The United States is a service economy. Now, in the book it says, some people think we've moved. We are essentially a service economy. That's how most people in the United States make a living, is providing some kind of services, whether it be teachers or nurses or whatever. Very few people make their living in industry, manufacturing, or in agriculture anymore. The other thing that has opened up is the opportunity for entrepreneurs. Now, I mentioned Amazon before, so you got Jeff Bezos. You've got the people who created Google. You have Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. All of those people, all of those new opportunities exist for people to come up with a new service to provide for people, and you can make a lot of money doing that. The other thing is organized labor is going to decline, because as industrial jobs drop and service industry grows, there aren't very many unions in the service industry. And so labor unions are going to see a decrease and a drop. And the other thing that we've seen is, with the weakening of labor unions, we've seen a steady decline or stagnation in wages. Wages have not kept up with inflation. It has not kept up with economic growth. And there's a lot of places around the United States where wages have decreased and people are making less, even though the economy is producing more. And at some point, that's going to become a real issue.